Oh my gosh. It is a beautiful day. Very, very breezy. Maybe a little bit too breezy, but like it's been way worse than this before. Probably not a lot of gorgeous days like this left, so I've got to soak it in while I can. So I was just at the park the other day, so I'm probably not going to go back there, but I'm thinking yard work. For some reason, that actually kind of sounds like fun right now. I was a little bit burnt out on it for a while. That happens, you know? But right now, no. Just being outside, getting kind of dirty, sounds like fun to me. And you know, when it's windy, that means tomorrow probably going to be kind of chilly. Who knows how many beautiful days we have left this year, so I figure got to get out there and soak it in, take advantage of it, try and enjoy it while I can. Okay, wind's not so fun anymore. I think I might go inside. I kind of thought a tree was about to fall down on my head. Jeez. Well, it looks cool. Glad I've been out here trying to clean the leaves out of the swimming pool. I feel like maybe I'm wasting my time there. I don't know. Well, not really. I have to get them out eventually, but maybe not at the same time as the leaves are falling. Oh, the wind knocked over my plumeria. I mean, I can just reroot this. It's not that big a deal, but I didn't ask for that. That's rude. Just gonna stick that over there for right now. I'm busy. And they're predicting frost tonight, which I don't think is actually going to be an issue, but the water hyacinth, which is this stuff right here, I want to go ahead and move that in just because it gives some shelter to those danios that are in here, because as I've mentioned in other videos, sometimes the koi will eat other fish if they can catch them or fit them in their mouths. Just gives them something to hide under while everything kind of why can't I talk? While everything is transitioning and acclimating. There we go. Gives them shelter. That's all I was saying. And everything I have outside right now, a couple hours where it's, you know, maybe in the low 30s isn't going to kill them, but it will help get some of the bugs off of them or slow them down so I can spray them off. And the backyard, the ground's very warm, so I'm not really concerned. So, but the hyacinth, though, is in water. It's in water. It's in the pond. I'm going to go get some. I'm going to put it in the bucket and go ahead and bring that stuff in. Oh, I didn't know my flash was on. Well, that's convenient, because I'm going to be outside here in just a second. Can I open the door like this? There we go. Oh, don't look at the camera, Toby. It's too bright. There we go. Come on. Go outside. Oh, it's kind of dark to be doing this, but better late than never. Well, I thought there was a lot more than this. Is that it? What? No. Oh, yeah, there we go. Go ahead and grab those. Don't need the pine cone. Put that in there. You guys. Not moving any more fish in tonight, but I am going to grab some of the media. Oh, dropped my net over there. I'm going to grab some of this media out of here, though, just to boost up the biological filtration inside. All right, so pulled some of the biological media out. As I was saying, as I move fish over, I make sure to take some of the biomedium with them, because I'm trying to keep the water balanced so that when I move everything over, there's no shock to anybody's systems. What I've done here is I have a tiny little basket down here on the bottom, and I've been putting that media in there as best as I can. The stuff that floats out's not a big deal. I'll get that with a net. Typically, you would want your biofilter with your water pouring it through there so you have oxygen in there with it, but this is actually doing the trick just fine. I've been testing it. Everything's staying pretty well balanced as I move things around, so not a big deal. Not that worried. And the thing with the water hyacinth, it doesn't grow well inside, like, not at all. It just does better outdoors, and it's very invasive where it can grow as a perennial. I don't live in an area like that, but I still would never put this anywhere where it could get released into runoff, because it can go down the rivers and the Mississippi and all the way down south, and that's part of the reason that water hyacinths is taking over the swamps and things like that. But like I was saying, even though they're only probably going to be doing their thing in here for a few weeks, their roots are going to come down and give a little bit of shelter to the danios that are in here, which are these tiny little minnows that they're so small and fast, they're really hard to keep track of. Where are they? Okay, you can kind of see those little gray specks? That's them. I don't want these koi eating them. It shouldn't be a problem, but ever since I had the one koi that ate my Oscar, I can't really be too secure with them and the danios. And not long after I moved these two in here, just like a couple hours ago, I was hearing splashing and seeing them come up at the top, and that was before I had put food in here, which means that they were probably trying to eat the danios that were swimming around up top. So there's a little bit of shelter for those guys. Biological media's in there. Whole bunch of just everything's about prepping, trying to stay ahead of things. I don't want to have to move things in a rush, so this is something I want to make sure is well established before I have to bring those fish in, mostly because of the sturgeon. Oh, it is steaming. And so am I. It wasn't convincing at all. I am, but at the same time, not really. Weather forecast was wrong again. You know, they're always wrong about precipitation temperature. Not usually this big of an issue. I usually can trust the forecast, but nope, they were way off again. Apparently when they said the low last night was going to be 41, what they actually meant was 28. Oh yeah, that's right, 28 degrees. Well, could have been worse, honestly. I'm actually surprised that there's not more damage. I mean, really, everything I just showed you is pretty much all the damage. The impatiens, those alocasias, and some crumpled up leaves on the colocasias. I, however, haven't looked at the impatiens out front. My guess would be they're probably looking kinda sad. I swear, this banana, it just keeps getting bigger, but I never see it putting out new leaves. I'm fine with it. It looks cool. It's become kind of a nifty storage place for my pool. What's that called? Pool net. Sorry guys, still waking up. Did want to go ahead and have a second look at the succulents. I've been keeping them dry, so they should be okay. Yeah, even the echeverias look alright. Man, that is a relief. I think it helps a lot that they're up against this wall and the heat, and there's a pretty decent microclimate here in this backyard with this warm body of water and all the pavement, but that only lasts so long. Once things are cool for a certain number of days or weeks, that warmth that comes up out of the ground is going to be worn out. Now let's go ahead and have a... Hey, hello, hi. Hey guys, how you doing? How you doing? Hi, Pumpkin! Oh, you're such a good boy. She has been so sweet lately, haven't you, Pumpkin? Haven't you, boy? Haven't you been so sweet? Yeah, good girl. Okay, let's go look at those impatiens. I have a feeling it's not going to be very pretty out there, but let's see. Ooh. Well, I can't say I'm surprised. Yeah, well, that's what the frost does. This is what happens in October. That's alright. It's part of it. It's why they're called annuals. Hey, at least I'm gonna get my pathway back. Things have gotten kind of narrow in here. So, do you see, look at how tall these begonias are. These are almost up to my waist. Almost. Huge. Hey, Tobes. Hey, Toby. Hey, Duck. And the planters are looking alright. Not fantastic, but they don't get a ton of sun on the front porch. That's kind of why I let them grow out on the back. They move them back here just for like a couple weeks. Yeah, you can kind of see. Some of them sort of have it. This mum is pretty much done and exhausted. Everything else looks kind of okay. Actually, just sort of thirsty. I think the pepper may have had it. But I can leave that there and it'll stay dried and look really pretty. And that sedum's doing well. That looks cute. Yeah, it's fall. That's the way things go. That's the way things go, right, Toby? Right, Toby? It's so cool and crisp outside. I haven't preheated the oven, so I was going to make a pumpkin pie. Not like a fancy one from a can, but I don't have pie crust, so that's going to have to wait. Whew, that was a lot of work. Didn't take that long, though. I can see I missed a few, but that's okay. I'm not trying for perfection right now, just trying to get the bones of the job done. So, been pulling up impatiens. All of the impatiens. Tried my best to get as many of them out by the root ball as I could, but that's not always that easy. But you don't want to leave too many dead pieces in there because, you know, some of it will enrich the soil and sometimes it becomes toxic. So, don't want too much of that in there. And I want to plant this up with kale and stuff, so just got to get it cleaned up. But right now, the dumpster's full. So, I'm done for right now. This is so heavy. It's so heavy that I cannot get it to stand upright. It fell over, and each time I pick it up, it just keeps falling back over. So, gotta go to Lowe's. Oh, looks like the cold got the castor bean. That's fine. I was about to cut it down anyways. Oof. That doesn't look pretty, though. I need to go to Lowe's because I need to get some yard waste bags because my dumpsters are full. Oh, the front yard looks so empty without the impatiens in there, doesn't it? So bland. Ugh. So I need the lawn bags, and I also need to get mulch. If you've been around for a while, you know is one of my least favorite things when it comes to gardening. But it is necessary. Look at those burning bushes. They're burning and looking pretty. So, as far as the mulch is concerned, I need to get some nice mulch to put in the front yard because I tore it up completely. Need to tidy that up. I have some cabbage and kale I'm gonna plant, and I want mulch to put around that. It'll look a lot nicer. It'll just look so much more clean and tidy being top dressed, but I'm not gonna put a heavy layer down. And then since I'm doing it anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get a bunch of bark nuggets because that's what I use to mulch around my bananas and some of my other things. It's early to be buying it, but the problem is when I wait till like November, when it's time to put that mulch down, the bags are like frozen and nobody's out there in the lawn and garden department, so it's hard to pay for it and whatnot. So I generally just go ahead and I start buying it now and I pile it up, and then when it's time to use it, I'll go ahead and use it. It just kind of stinks that it takes up a lot of space, but okay, that's enough. You know what's happening now. You're all caught up. Guys, I don't want to buy mulch. Good workout though. Also, it's just reminded me I need to buy pie crust. Oh my God. You know, I want to complain about it, but the truth is, chances are November 1st, I'll be bringing my Christmas stuff up. I like to get a head start on it, but I don't know if I'm ready. I mean, I think I am, because it's pretty, but I don't know. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, it has a silent function in case you're wondering. Yeah, because that would get annoying. Oh my God. It's full of hollow. He's pretty cute, actually. That's, yeah, can't, $20 though? I don't think so. All right, stay focused. That's not what I'm here for. Where are the lawn bags? Well, that ought to do it. Ooh, I planned ahead this time. I'm gonna go pull over to the loading zone instead of trying to haul that giant cart out here. Sometimes the parking lot's so bumpy that the mulch and everything just falls right off the car. I'm not in the mood for that. Look at all that. Well, I'm at a different Lowe's. They didn't have enough mulch at the other one, so over here. Another 14 bags, no big deal. I actually do have a method here. I go with the stuff I have to unload first, because then it goes into the car last and I can get it out first. There we go. 10 more nuggets and 10 more cypress mulch. I want to forget this. I can't see what's in front of me. There we go. 64 bags later, done buying mulch. But I still have to unload it all and spread it, so there's still that. I'm just doing the front today, though. I don't have to worry about the rest of that. I mean, I can get out of the car, but I don't have to do it right now. Time to get to work. This is plant tone. I've already put some down, but all I really do here, I hold the bag up way high, sprinkle that around. I actually already did it. I just did that to show you. Gypsum. Same deal. Just sprinkle it around. Get a whole bunch of that in there. Whole reason I'm doing this, the plant tone is technically a fertilizer, but it has a lot of good ground stuff in it that helps enrich your soil, so that's what I'm going for since I'm going to be putting down mulch. I want to till some good stuff in there. I want to work it into the top of the soil, put the mulch down. There'll be lots of good biological fun things happening that's going to help make for better soil next year. And this year too. I have some kale and cabbage I might go ahead and plant out here. It's really just sort of if I'm going to have time before the sun sets. But if I'm going to plant it, I should probably do that before I put the mulch down, so I guess I'll do it. I'm so tired now. Actually, I think that sounds like a lot of fun. I'm going to see if I can find my bull blogger and dig some holes. Oh, and the gypsum helps break down clay, loosen up your soil, and what else does it say? Provides essential calcium. Yeah, it's good stuff. I have heavy clay, so I make sure to blend that in as much as I can every time I mulch. It helps slowly over time, over the years, loosen things up a little bit. I've noticed I say little bit a lot. I don't know if it makes into the videos, but I notice it when I'm editing. Bull bogger. This thing makes planting a lot of things. God, I cannot talk. This speeds up planting a lot, as long as they're little things. They make bigger ones, which I should probably invest in, but for now, let's have this $15 one from Amazon. Just poke it down and spin. And then boom, hole. That's it. Need to adjust the drill a little bit, so we'll keep going, but yeah, that's it. That's simple. I'm gonna dig a bunch of holes and throw some kale and cabbage in here. I did something really stupid. No surprise there, right? I bought 2 different types of the kale, so I was thinking, hey, that would look good to stagger them, but now that I'm like actually ready to plant them, I'm going, why did I do that? Because now I have to establish a pattern. Wasn't smart. Should not have done that. Definitely should not have done that. And the problem with kale and cabbage is it's not like the impatiens where they'll spread out and fill in. I mean, they grow and spread some, but your holes need to be pretty even. And there are a lot of roots and pipes in here, so couldn't get them that even, but I mean, it'll look better than just dirt, I suppose, but it's going to bother me that they're not going to be spaced right, but oh well, at least they're in peat pots, so I can just drop them in. That's really nice. I also don't think I bought enough, but look at how well it works using a bowl bogger. They just pop right in there. I do usually, like, I'm not crazy about peat pots, but situations like this, I kind of love it. Ah, look at that. I bought exactly the right number. Now, the ratio is a little bit off. Had a few extra whites, not quite enough of the purple, but I went ahead and I stuck the extras behind this columnar blue spruce. That way it's a little bit more hidden. I dug extra holes just in case I decided to put some bigger ones back there. I don't know if I'm going to. I do wish these were bigger. I think it would look a lot nicer, but it was just, they're so expensive. I would get these in 6-packs for $6.98. That's about as good as it gets, so. But yeah, it would look a lot nicer if there was some more symmetry and whatnot. But like I said, it's better than looking at dirt. So I'm going to go ahead, grab my shovel, start filling the holes in and mulch it and blah, 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 blah. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Only because I'm getting ready to mulch this over, I'm just using a small little hand rake to go ahead and get those clumps pushed back in. It doesn't have to be perfect because the mulch is going to fill in and I have to spread that mulch. And this particular mulch breaks down very, very, very quickly, makes a nice compost, so I have no problem with the plants growing in it. When I'm mulching an area like this, I kind of like to drop it in little clumps. I'll use my hand and just throw it out of the bag and slowly spread it around that way, just because otherwise you end up with things like this happening where you end up getting that inside the plant, and you don't really want that. Just like with succulents, that can cause rot. It takes a little bit longer this way, but in the long run, it really does just look tidier. Is that clump over there bothering anybody else? There we go. Nice fresh layer of mulch. I do wish they were spaced more evenly, but I did what I could with the roots and pipes in the ground. So 40 kale. I think I may have said like 70 something earlier. I'm flustered. 6 packs plus I had a few extras back here. I had 3 of these leftover flowering kales, and then this guy right here, and a few pansies. When I toss those things, it's like I may as well use them. So they're in the background, and then I don't know, it looks better. That is like the giant spider that was on my fence the other day. How you doing, bud? That's not going to focus. That thing, though, it is huge. Holy crap. I'm not putting my hand too close, but yeah, you're a big spider. I'm really happy to have this done. Excuse me, Toby, excuse me. But there's still that part of me that's just like kind of bleh about it. It's just such a different look from the impatiens. Like I said, though, I like it better than just looking at mulch, and it was, you know, 42 bucks for all these. That's not too bad. It's going to give interest throughout the rest of the fall, the winter, and early spring, so that's probably worth it. Now, had I used much larger kales, then it would look really cool, but, I mean, it would just cost a fortune. That's not practical. I'm not doing that. And they'll grow. I just need to be patient, right? That's all it is. Just need to be patient. Hey, but let's do a side-by-side. So, when I planted these up in May, when they just got in the ground, and then I'll have June, July, August, and September up there, just to kind of give a comparison of everything, because there is a very drastic difference from month to month, especially compared to right now. And you see these right now, yes, it looks very different, but I'm okay with it. It's just a different look. I'm happy it's done. I mean, I'm happy to have done it. That's what I mean to say. And Toby's already peed on 3 of them. Thanks for doing your part, Tobes. Hey, what are you eating? Toby, don't do that. Okay, now I'm gonna dig up some begonias. I don't know how into that I'm going to get in this video, because actually I'm going to do a separate video on digging and storing begonias, but for now, I'm just going to dig these up so I can finish mulching and be done with the front yard. Loosen that up, and that actually, wow, that's pulling up no problem, which is good and bad. Good, because it means less work for me. Bags means it wasn't rooted very deeply, but begonias don't usually root that deep anyway, so that's probably not a big deal. And just like that, begonias are gone. Pulled right up, no problem. Like I said, I'm going to do a separate video on storing them and everything. Just because it gets kind of lengthy, and I'd like for it to be separate so it can be easily pulled up. I thought about putting a pumpkin in each one of these spots here, but I don't trust the teenagers in my neighborhood, so I'm keeping the pumpkins on the front porch. Right, Tobes? Okay, yeah. I think they're safer closer to the door. I feel like if they're out there, it's just, you can't trust those little brats. There are still some impatiens around, but those are like volunteers, ones that have reseeded throughout the garden. They'll come up on their own, they'll die off, I'll get them later. I did want to touch on this mulch real quick. I had talked about it a little bit, but not very thoroughly. This is the Black Forest Fine Textured Mulch. This is a really great mulch. I like it a lot. It's not dyed, so it does lose its color. It doesn't, you know, it's not going to stay dark all year. That's not going to happen. But what it does do, this mulch breaks down very, very, very quickly, and what's nice about that is all those microbes, all those good bacteria and fungi get in here break that down, works its way into the soil. I mean, you could plant straight into this. This is pretty good stuff. And it's great for the roots of your plants when you have all these good beneficial things. It's not like some of the other mulches, like the ones that are dyed and chemically processed and whatnot to keep them looking nice longer. But for an area like this, a bed that needs a lot of help, the soil needs a ton of help just because there's clay and just years of neglect from whoever was taking care of it prior, and just poor soil in the area in general. Maybe that's the situation. This is what I like to use. It's easy for me to find. Hold on, I'm checking for the dog. Okay, all right, I gotta keep an eye on him out front. Yeah, it's really nice. Nice organic mulch. Good stuff. This is what I like to use for, like I said, the beds that need that enrichment. Triple ground. That's one of the other things I like that's in there, because it's finer shreds. Smaller piece, not great big chunks. I also pulled all the sun impatiens out of here, and I put a ton of mulch down in this berm. Like a good 6 inches maybe. It was a lot, but that's necessary because I wanted to build this up so that there's more to work with next year. These guys are still looking pretty good. Vanilla strawberries, things are backlit. It's just always the wrong time of day out front, but they're looking pretty good. And I don't know where monster spider is, and I don't know if you can see that web, but it's very pretty and very elaborate, but I think that you probably can't see it. Okay, back to talking about mulch. Okay, oh my goodness, you thought we had left you forever. You thought we had left you forever, huh, Tuck? Yeah, Tuck doesn't get to go out front. He's a... He is a little bit more impulsive, so I know with him, if another dog comes around, he's going to run off, he's going to play with it, another person. He's just gets in his head. He doesn't listen quite as well as Toby. Toby listens very well. That's also just, Toby, excuse you. That's also kind of a difference in training. Actually, Tucker had more training, but Toby learned off of him and then had training. That's a whole different. Dogs are, that's not what we're talking about right now. So the other mulch I bought, most of it's actually still in the car. I had to take 2 different trips. I don't think I showed, well, I showed that I went to different loads. I actually came home, unloaded, and had to that's neither here nor there. But the rest of the mulch I bought, this is more insulative, winter protective mulch. So back there's cypress mulch, then pine bark nuggets. Those will be going around the base of the banana trees. And I guess the palm tree. I mean, I'm going to try and protect it, but I don't know. It doesn't seem likely it'll survive, but may as well try, right? But yeah, that's going around the banana trees. Over here around these calacajas and the gingers that are down there a little bit. I put the cypress mulch down first. It holds in a little bit more moisture than the pine bark nuggets do. And I do kind of blend them together a little bit. In the past, I used just cypress mulch, and it worked well, but I did notice I had more rot issues when I used that, because it's cypress mulch. It clumps together tighter and holds in that moisture, whereas the pine bark nuggets, they're big chunks. Let's see if you can see through one of these bags. As you can kind of see in here, hopefully, they're much larger pieces. They're, like it says, nuggets. Because that they breathe a little bit better, but they still help insulate. They help keep the wind off of the plants and whatnot. So that's all I'm doing here, is I just like to layer them up. Cypress closest to the ground, and then I build up with the pine bark from there. I do also use leaves, but I don't use oak or maple. They don't decay as fastly. They tend to kind of mat up and clump and retain moisture, which is not great for rot. I don't want that. So sticking mostly with mulch this year, because the bulk of my trees are oak and maple, so it's the bulk of my leaves. Also, that wind snapped the spike on the queen palm. Can you see that? That's not good. I mean, the fate for this thing isn't great as it is, but that's still, that's no good. There is some cold damage from that 28-degree night on the Eureka palm. Just this one, not that one. That one's closer to the house. I guess the frost didn't get it. But their spears are still tight. The spear meaning the main spike that's coming out the center. Right in there, they're tight, there's no discoloration to them, and that's really what you look for when you're worried about damage with the palm trees. I end up cutting a lot of this off when I first moved them in anyways, but I mean, that's not ideal, because it's not good for the plant, but I mean, I know it was getting to 28 degrees, it's supposed to be in the low 40s. Now, a few days ago, I think I actually mentioned this, they said that there was going to be a frost, and there wasn't, but at least then they said it was going to get down to 36. More understandable that there could be a light frost if the dew point's right, but 42 to 28, I mean, come on. Really? So there is some damage, but the spears are all in there tight. I have sprayed them with a copper-based fungicide. I did it early in the morning as the sun was about to hit them, because I want to soak down in there and dry quickly. And the whole point of that was just to avoid crown rot. That's the killer with most of these palm trees when things get too cold. And the mule palms, those are the ones on each side of the steps down here. Obviously, they're fine. I have those outside into the teens plenty of times. They've had snow on them, everything. They're tough. But not so much things like the Adenidia palms and the Eurekas. And spindles can go into the mid-20s as long as it's dry. But these are, you know, straight up from Miami. I think they're growers in Broward, something like that. But they haven't experienced a winter before. So they're a little bit upset about it. But they'll be all right. And cactus and succulents. Still looking good. Been a few days. I mean, look, there's still a really pretty flower spike on that echeveria. And it's still blooming. I would like to get in here, though. I think it's time to go ahead and pull this portulaca out, because that is going to hold in moisture. And I have this barrel cactus right behind it. It just seems like probably time to go ahead and get that stuff out of there. I might do that later with my clippers in a different Oh, wow. Was that shining right on my... The whole... Okay. I was just saying, I think it might be time to go ahead and pull that out. Yeah, and then there's still impatiens to pull from the backyard. That's not a big deal. Happens every year. It's just part of having annuals. It is time to go, though, only because what I have left to do out here, I mean, there's tons left to do. But what it would take up the rest of this video is, like, so far off from this video. I think it'd just be polar opposites, really. I mean, there's still gardening. But what I'm saying is it would turn this into, like, a 45 to 50 minute long video. So, I'm not going to do that to y'all. But thanks for hanging out while I got to do some fun gardening things, planting up all the kale and getting the mulch down and all that fun stuff. Oh, go get it. Go get... Nope, no one's... Do you want your bottle? Alright, he's not in the mood to play. But as always, I hope everybody's doing well. I have all my social media linked below. Follow me and I'll follow you back. I have a lot of fun talking to everybody. I'm on Instagram more than anything else. And comment down below. Love hearing from everybody. Did y'all plant kale? How's it looking? And while you're at it, don't forget to leave the video a thumbs up. It helps a ton, helps the channel. Just makes me feel happy about what I'm doing. So thank you so much. And subscribe as well. I upload multiple times a week, and hit that notification bell. That way you know when new videos come out. Alright, but as always, everybody, most importantly, keep on growing. Bye-bye.